Hello, I'm Sarah Fay, and I am so thrilled to be able to bring you the 5 things I've learned about making a living as a writer today. This essential class, and I say essential, this goes for whether you're a beginning writer, really just starting out and hope to one day have a book or bring your writing to the world, or if you are a total pro and have been publishing books forever and published everywhere, etc. This class is essential. It's 2 hours, and as I said, packed with everything you need to know about how the writing landscape and how we think of writing has totally changed for the better, and how exciting it is for us. I know a lot about this because I have struggled to earn an income as a writer. I've been a professional writer for 25 years. In the early aughts, I lived in New York City as a poet. As you can imagine, the financial possibilities were endless, truly endless. And I lived in terrible basement apartments and leaky lofts and just everything you can imagine, rent times 1,000, and really struggled to sustain myself as a writer. I hustled as a bartender, a server, teaching ESL at a barely funded community center in Brooklyn, being a barely funded PhD student, and of course, teaching adjunct, where we are not paid even a living wage. At the same time, I've also reached the pinnacle, the heights of success, writerly success. I got the great agent. I got the 6-figure book deal, and with the Big 5 publisher. I have published in the New York Times and the Atlantic and the New Republic. I had a best-selling memoir, and still I could not sustain myself as a writer. That's all changed. As I said, Substack has come in, and my role on there over the last 5 years now, and especially over the last 2 years, has shown me what being a writer in today's economy means. I've mentored thousands of writers going through this same transformation. And yes, it's been award-winning journalists and best-selling authors and thought leaders, but also people just starting out. One of my clients, Nan, she made more money in 1 year than I think I made in 10 years when I started out. Now that was many moons ago, but still, you get the idea. She didn't go to an MFA program. She was just starting out. Substack allowed her to connect with readers, and it's not this elitist path anymore. It's not this narrow path, this one way that you become a writer. That is the first thing of the 5 things I'm going to share with you. So number 1 of the 5 things I've learned about making a living as a writer, the end of the single, often elitist path to a writing career. That is over. The traditional writing journey has been replaced by multiple pathways. Number 2, the birth of the author as literary entrepreneur. I will explain all of this, but the day I started thinking of myself as an entrepreneur, that means someone who looks at possibilities, someone who looks at, okay, what are my gifts, talents, and expertise, and how can I use them to sustain myself and bring my work to the world and also earn an income, because everyone deserves to earn an income, from McDonald's to Substack to writers, anywhere. I do not walk into a store and think or say to the salesperson, you should work for free. Nowhere else do we say that. As an entrepreneur, you are really looking at possibilities and opportunities. And instead of wanting to be discovered, waiting for a publisher to give us these opportunities, we can start to create them for ourselves. Number 3, why you don't have to be on social media anymore. You're welcome. We just don't. It is a waste of our time to be playing algorithms or trying to, or just getting discouraged by them. And we need to stop helping Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and others, helping them profit off our work and our intellectual property. Number 4, how to earn an income as you grow as a writer. Now, I don't think that our growth as a writer ever stops. So this, again, could be someone just starting out, but also someone who's been writing for years. If you're just starting out, though, the typical route would say you have to pay to learn how to write. Well, what if you had a paid internship, so to speak, or a paid apprenticeship? Meaning, what if you could earn an income as you were learning to write? And number 5, community-centric creation. This is probably not what you're thinking. It does not mean we have to all sit in a circle and hold hands. It is, how do we produce writing that speaks to readers, sustains us creatively, and becomes the foundation of our financial stability as writers? For far too long, we have been told that we should suffer for our art or not be paid. And that is it's a myth, and it's one that needs to end. The truth is that being a writer has always been hard, and there has never been a better time, ever, for being a writer and for being one that actually earns an income. Helping writers empower themselves is my passion. It is my purpose in life. I love doing it more than I can say, and I can't wait to share it with you and help you do the same. See you there.